So we take that verse 7 again. Therefore, as ye abound in everything, in faith and utterance and knowledge and in all diligence, and in your love to us, see that ye abound in this grace also. So we see the graces, or the other thing that they were. He was writing to the Corinthian church, right? Paul was writing here to a church, referencing another church. Writing to the Corinthian church, referencing the Macedonian churches. He was writing to challenge one church based on what the other church had done. And it became essential and crucial because if we were to look at the history of what was going on here, it would be easy for us to understand what this whole thing is about. So let me give you a brief historical background of what was taking place here. At some point in time, when Paul had visited the Corinthian church, he mentioned to them the situation of the Christians in Jerusalem, how they were in dire straits, and how they needed to be supported. And so the Corinthians, who were wealthy people anyway, and who were living in a cosmopolitan environment, said to him that, we must help the people in Jerusalem. After all, they are the ones through whom God brought the message to us. So Paul was, he was pleased that on their own they willingly said they were going to, come and do their alms. So, being challenged, he now travels to Macedonia to visit the churches. At the time he visited the churches, they were facing serious persecution. Life was tough for them. So, in a bid to, now I'm the one telling you what must have transpired. In a bid to exhort them and encourage them not to despair, that God will help them, he now spoke about the things that were happening in the church in Jerusalem and how that he spoke to the Corinthians and that they were gathering for the church in Jerusalem. So it's like saying, don't worry. God, who is meeting the need of the church in Jerusalem, will meet your needs also. So in encouraging the Macedonian church, they did more than he expected. Because he was encouraging them to persevere. If you read verse 2 of Corinthians chapter, 2 Corinthians chapter 8, he said, how that, talking of this church, in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy, remember the word abound or abundance, you remember what it means now. They overflowed, there was a joy that was overflowing. And their deep poverty, can you imagine the joy that overflowed so much? It masked their poverty. It masked the affliction they were going through. You see certain people brimming with joy. And if they tell you that that man is suffering, you say, wait, you're lying. Because of the abundance of joy that is in him. He said, and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches of their liberality. When you read the word rich, we're not talking of money. We are talking of that abounding. They had so much. That's what they say there. It abounded to the wealth, the richness of their liberality, their ability to share. But how do people who are poor, how do they share? Do you understand? How do people who don't have, how are they able to give? So he was surprised when he was sharing with them about what the Corinthian church was doing for Jerusalem. They now said in Macedonia that, we also want to give. And I was looking at them, but you are suffering. You are going through trials. You don't even have enough. Like Jacob, what did they say? We have enough. These were poor people. Look at verse 3. It says, for to their power I bear record, and beyond their power, that They are beyond their power. They were willing of themselves. I didn't, in fact, I was just telling what was going on elsewhere. And they volunteered. I didn't tell them to give. Do you understand that? I didn't have to preach a sermon for them to give. I merely told them what was going on elsewhere. How the rich brethren were gathering for the church in Jerusalem to help the church in Jerusalem. So I can testify. Of themselves they were willing. Look at verse 4. Praying us with much entreaty that we would receive the gift and take upon us the fellowship of the ministry to the saints. And this they did, not as we hoped, but first gave their own selves to the Lord and unto us by the will of God. So what kind of people are these? And so he wrote back to the Corinthian church. He said, please, I don't want you to disgrace me. It is me who went and told them that you guys had said you were going to help Jerusalem church. Before I knew it, they had gathered from their little substance. So I'm writing this to you so that my boasting will not become a matter of disgrace for me and even yourselves. So I'm sending Timothy to you. He always wanted to come anyway. So I'm sending him to you. I'm also sending one of the brothers, and there's another brother that will go with them. These three will come. Please, I'm sending them ahead. So I beg you, gather what you had promised 1 year ago. I want you to know these things. When did the Corinthian church promise they were going to give to Jerusalem? 1 year ago. 1 year after, they had yet to gather here. So in verse 7, so it was Titus who said he was coming there, not Timothy, Titus. Verse 6. He says, insomuch that we desire Titus, that as he had begun, so he would also finish in you the same grace also. So in verse 7 now, you see the meaning there. That says, therefore, you guys you abound. We can see your excesses in everything. When it comes to faith, you have faith. Brekete. When it comes to utterance, speaking, you guys can speak. You guys can preach. You guys, you know those things. You know how to talk. When it comes to knowledge, you have it. You are a citadel of intellect. You abound in these things. When it comes to diligence, when we say diligence, we are talking of the eagerness and willingness to help other people. You abound in that eagerness because when I shared with you the problem of Jerusalem, you were willing to give. So you abound in eagerness. And then in love towards us, I would say you abound also, even though we know that there was those that abounding were questionable. But it was like, it's like sarcasm. And then he now comes and says, I want you also, see that ye abound in this grace also. So what is this grace that he's talking about? The grace of what? Giving.